today you've been talking about what it's going to take to reach a tipping point where there's consumer and business acceptance of the kinds of changes that need to be made in their habits and strategies to move with the green agenda. Can you explain those, please?
I think there's a definite tipping point about to occur when consumers and commercial owners of buildings understand that they really need to invest at the front in order to get the benefits of the savings. The environmental credentials are quite often not the priority. Cost is the priority. When you're commissioning a building, when you're developing, when you're enhancing your own home, what's the cost? What have I got to pay now? Where am I going to get that money from? And when am I going to see a return? And from an individual point of view, when they're trying to buy those products, the return seems a long way away and it seems unproven. So how do people really make the decision? A return in 5, 10, 15, in feed-in tariff terms, 10 to 25 years, how are people really going to understand? And they've got questions like, will I be here? Will I be in this unit? Will I have moved? What happens in those instances? And for businesses wanting to invest, again, they want to get the best return very, very quickly. They want to pay as little as possible to put a new building up. And therefore, why should they encourage a much higher price tag when an alternative construction company comes in and says, well, we'll design and build a cheaper building for you. We'll walk away. It's up for you to manage. And actually, it's the management of buildings that makes a big difference as to their energy efficiency. Habits die hard. Someone comes in, they switch the fan heater on. That's about the worst thing you can do. What we really need to do is understand how buildings work, and actually the people using them need to understand how buildings work, and that's how you drive real efficiency.
Mark, can you give any examples of how developers or constructors are being encouraged to build in more energy efficiency into their properties?
There are some construction companies now that are looking at what I would think is very innovative methods of building in the long-term use of a building into the construction. So they become responsible for the management of the building, and part of their fee for building the building is also managing it. So the requirement for it to be energy efficient isn't at the point that it's handed over, it's in 5 or 10 or 15 years' time, and it's in their interest to build it efficiently, but it's also in their interest for it to be managed efficiently. At the moment, there's very much we've built the building, we'll hand you the keys, it's up to you now. If the finance changed such that the companies, the construction companies, and the more innovative ones are looking at this now, where they say, well, we'll take on the long-term management of the building, but we'll take the benefit of that. We'll take the fuel reductions and the energy reductions in there and be responsible for it. That will probably drive innovation in the building industry to make sure that the buildings are better insulated and more efficient from day one. And that's actually what we need.